Hello, welcome to Make Kind Loud, conversations that turn up the volume. And this week we are talking with my buddy Rance Adams. What's up, Rance?
What's going on, Louisa? It's been a minute since we've
It,
seen each other.
it's been a minute. And so thank you so much for saying yes.
Well, do people say no?
Sometimes, but it's okay.
Their loss.
So,
They've obviously never had a conversation with you, so.
oh, you are too kind. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I'm just gonna tell the people about you, and then we're
Cool.
gonna chat and see what you've been up to.
All right.
Born and raised in Texas, Rance Adams had no plans to work in front of the camera. However, an opportunity presented itself that led Rance down a completely different career path. He has hosted multiple programs all over the country, from extreme sports to singing competitions to local entertainment talk shows. Rance eventually landed in Jacksonville, Florida as a multimedia journalist for River City Live that airs on News 4 Jax. Almost 5 years in, he has now moved up to include co-host to his title. Rance continues to be involved in multiple projects as a host, a commercial actor, and film actor, producer, and editor. So Rance, that is amazing. So tell me about First of all, before we get into anything, this is such a small world. So we have a mutual friend, Leslie Benda, who just popped on my page and was like, Rance. So yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, we went to college together. I think she was there a couple years, and then she transferred out. But yeah, we were at Arkansas Little Rock.
Wow. Yeah, Leslie and I work out there. We do CrossFit. We did in the past. So yeah, that's funny. And then my mom, so I posted your graphic, coming up, Rance Adams this Friday. Immediately, my mom called me and was like, is his dad's name Carsey? I said, I don't know. I don't know if his dad's name. And so I had to do a deep dive on your page. And lo and behold, they went to high school together.
Yeah, she brought it to your attention. You brought it to mine. I asked mine, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this and that, and at the reunion, this we talk about this," and I'm like, so I mean, I give them props because their reunions are legit. Like, I
Man.
think I went to my 10-year. I haven't been back since.
Yeah, I went to my 20th. I went to my 20th year. And so I missed the 5 and the 10, and we didn't do one for the 25. 25 would have been this year actually. So we didn't do one for the 25. But yeah, they like every year.
Yeah, and they do it up. They like go travel and stuff, but they like each other. There are only like what 20 or so of them.
Probably.
I walked with like 900.
Yeah, mine was about half of yours, but yeah, still, I'm not going on trips with them.
Yeah, no.
So that's awesome, and it's such a small world, and it's a beautiful thing because they graduated in what 1960 or something like that.
That sounds right.
Yeah, and then they've been doing these reunions every year since then, and I mean that's just amazing and crazy. But enough about our parents. Enough about our
parents. Yeah. But see, now they can't say we don't ever talk about them.
Right.
You never talk about me. It's like
a whole segment.
Love you, mom. Love you, pop.
Right. Hey, mama. She's probably watching. So what's been going on? You're in Jacksonville, Florida. How'd you land there?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's been such a roundabout journey. So, I mean, long story short, well, it's still too long, but like I didn't really have aspirations to be in front of the camera. It just I was doing a lot of production work. I went to college and got into news and stuff like that. And it was but I would do like some little funny bits with friends and stuff. And next thing you know, years later, I had the guy I worked with, Andrew Saipian, and he pitched an idea for a skateboarding show. And he knew I would talk to anybody about anything. And so he asked me to audition, and I said, sure, why not? No clue what I was doing. And I lucked out and got the gig, and it's been a climb ever since.
Wow, that's amazing. So
But
basically,
didn't I meet you? How did we meet? I've been trying to remember. Was it like, weren't you doing cooking segments, or how did we meet?
both. So yes, so I was doing cooking segments, but I was also doing publicity for Fran Harris.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and then I hit you up and was like, "Hey, do you want to do this story?" And then that's officially how we met.
Got you. That's cool. But I just running through, and I was like, just known you, and then
Yeah.
resonates, and it's like every so often something pops up with you on whatever social media, and it's just all this joy and positivity, and that's something you've always kind of like owned, and I mean that's really cool.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try my best because there's so much going on in the world, especially this year. I mean,
Mhm.
there's always been a lot going on, but this year it's been compacted with COVID and just everything. And
Right.
so, I mean, literally, I'm trying to just spread joy where I can, even during the heavy times.
Yeah, it's tough to do, but you know, you can't just admire yourself in all the darkness.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you do to not mire yourself in the darkness?
Um, I meditate.
Okay.
I play guitar. I read. After the gyms opened up, I had to go back because the quarantine 15 was,
Right. Yeah. I
yeah,
know.
and it was more than 15.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just try to, like, I don't know, try to get active when you can and just release. Don't hold on to a bunch of the darkness.
Yeah. And that's huge.
What,
I mean, that
what,
release is important because if you hold on to it, then it just weighs you down.
yep. What about you?
Same. I do a lot of meditation. I'm outgoing, but I'm also very introverted. And so even when I'm out and about and amongst the people, like I have to come home and be by myself. And I have to sometimes it's like going under the covers and just either crying, letting it out, or meditating, or just, binging mindless TV, something like that. But I
Nah,
read a lot and I try to fill my mind with good stuff, and I don't necessarily pay attention to the craziness that's happening in the world, even though it's so in your face. I
mm.
try to, do more of the positive and not focus on that part.
Well, for me, I'm in this good space. I'm in this pocket, and it's a dude thing. And I know there's ladies into it too, but there's a whole bunch of people that aren't. But I'm so excited football's back.
Oh,
So I can distract. But see what I do, I'll turn on a game and I'll read, and I just look up when the big plays happen. So
yeah, yeah. So it's like it's in the background, but you're reading.
multitasking,
I love that. I love that. People always ask me about football because we're from Texas, and Texas is, if it's not known for anything, it's definitely a football state, right?
Agreed.
And I don't know anything about football. I picked up some here and there. My nephew played. He went to Texas A&M Commerce. He played there. So I've picked up some stuff. I know certain positions,
Mhm.
but like I don't know what's going on. And people keep asking me, they're like, "But you're from Texas," and I say, "Yeah, I know where I know where I'm from. However, I don't know anything about football."
That's like people who back in the day who thought we rode horses to school and stuff.
Right. Exactly. Like, do y'all ride horses to school? I was like, no, I live in Dallas.
Yeah, nah.
City.
I don't think I got on a horse until I was 25, so nah.
Yeah. I think I've ridden a horse maybe 5 times in my life, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's hilarious. And what gets me is that they're like, "What's your favorite college team?" I went to the University of Denver. Go Pioneers! And we don't have a football team. We're a hockey school.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so when they're like, "What's your favorite team?" I'm like, University of Denver. And they say they don't have a team. I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't watch football. I don't know what you're not getting here.
Yeah, we didn't have a football team in my college either.
Yeah.
But oh, you were in Denver? I loved Denver. I stayed there for like 7 months
Did
ye-
you?
years ago. I got
What
into
part?
snowboarding, Aurora.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was training for a gig, and that was I like Denver.
Denver is beautiful, and it's like it has everything.
Hmm.
It has the mountains. It just is such an outdoors city because there's so much to do outside. And it's beautiful. Like every
Well,
time I go visit, I'm so surprised. Like I literally, when I'm flying in and I see the mountains, I'm so like in awe of the glory of it all.
people freak out. They're like, "Oh, it snows and whatever." It's not like the Midwest where it stays down in there. It'll snow for and melt in like a day and a half.
Yeah.
And I mean, so yeah, Denver was all day. I mean, and then summertime, gorgeous. If it's hot down in the city, you just go up in the mountains and go mountain biking or
Yeah.
hiking, whatever. So yeah, did love some Denver.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Yeah, I love it. I try to get back once a year.
Mm.
Not going to make it this year, but definitely one of the first stops I'm making in 2021.
So
So,
are you a hockey fan?
no, I'm I went to a hockey school, but not a hockey fan. No. Basketball is my jam. And so, yeah, I went to 3 hockey games, I think, during my course being at DU. And I was just like, I don't get it. It's cold in here. I don't understand what's happening. So I'm
I
going to
was
go
just
back to my room.
I was just saying, the Dallas Stars are in the Stanley Cup Finals, so maybe rooting for your home team, but never mind.
Yeah. Well, I root for all things Dallas. Don't get me wrong. But I don't necessarily pay attention or watch. You know what I mean?
I feel you. That's cool. That's
Same thing like basketball. Back in the day, I used to be a diehard during the Michael Jordan era. I mean, I could tell you stats. I could tell you all kinds of stuff. I can't do that anymore. But now I just watch the playoffs and the finals, and that's it. Like that's my thing. And during college, it's like March Madness. That's my
Yeah.
thing. It's like
What would you?
the big thing. I don't want to watch the going up to it. I just want to watch who's going to win.
Well, you watching these series now that they're last couple games in the conference championships?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Oh,
Because I've been trying to, get higher in my meditation and whatnot, but I've just let, that part go.
no, that's cool. That's smart.
But I mean, how's it going? Are people doing well?
Oh, Miami is balling out.
Wow.
They're putting it on Boston. LeBron plays Denver tonight. Should be a good series, but
Who do you
yeah,
think is going to win it all?
the way these teams are playing, I don't know. Because Denver, they're actually a lot better than people who gave them credit for. Got a young dude, and that is just shooting lights out. And they got this dude, Joker. He is just fabulous. So,
Yeah.
but enough sports talk.
Right. So listen, 2020 has been crazy, if in a word. That's
Agreed.
how I can just sum it up. What when it all happened in March and during the shutdown or whatever, what were you feeling and going through, and how did you survive it all?
Yeah, 2020 has definitely been a beast. And so when that happened, I mean, you don't really consider the world stopping, but
Yeah.
in some essence it did stop, and uh, I think with what we were doing, we were able to transition. So like a lot of people, they just stopped cold, but we were able to transition and keep producing our show,
Mm.
just doing it from home. So we stayed busy. So that was good. And, but it was just weird being in the house and working.
Yeah.
But, and So there was that, and then found a lot of comfort in food.
Mm,
And there was some bad juju going on. But really, I just a lot of just taking stock of, you know, my own person,
yeah,
you know, because yeah, it was just you didn't have a choice because so like there's a show Survivor,
yeah,
and I watched that for years, and I just sit and watch these people, and like what we see and like compacted into the show. I'm like, you are inside your head all day, every day with no distraction. You drive me nuts. And what we had to deal with, it drove us nuts, but it total different sector. But then I think about, so then we've got our kids, and they're like, oh, I'm bored. And I'm like, makes me think like when we were that age, if this had happened, could you imagine the real boredom?
right, right. Because they have a lot of technology, they have a lot of stuff to do. We didn't have half of what they have right now.
Netflix, internet. Like I had the library. If you can't leave the house, what do you do?
Yeah,
But uh, but yeah, it was just I mean, just processing, trying to like, okay, I've got to get to the next step. And you can't always control that. So you just have to kind of take a breath and just let go of control. And
yeah,
so yeah, it was a lot of eating and yeah, just trying to figure a little bit better of me out.
yeah. So what did you learn about yourself?
Um, Probably not as dark as I might have thought I was
Okay.
or felt I was, but also not as light.
Yeah,
So it's all about the balance, and it's just and then finding your true voice. You know, that's the biggest thing. Like being able to just have your true voice and know that my voice like carries sway. You know,
yeah. Ooh, I love that. I love that.
so
Yeah.
so it's been a 2020.
It has been. It has been. So, I mean, let's hit on George Floyd. How did that impact you?
I mean, obviously removed from the situation, but it's that's where I had some deep thought because you know what do I say? You
Yeah,
know, how do I react, especially with what I do?
right.
Um, and
Right, exactly.
and then you start thinking about people's perceptions and uh, whatever, and and but it's just like you just see how going back to the darkness of the world, you're just like you really get a sense of people like wow, and you're just like, this is really the vibe you're going for. You're
Right.
not even seeing the whole big picture. You're just focused on this one, and
Yeah,
and you just want people to like be good to each other, and not everything has to be a fight. Not everything has to be an argument.
that part.
You know, it's just like, or if you do have that, it's like, you know what? I agree to disagree, but it doesn't have to get nasty. You
And
know.
that's it right there. Respect goes a long way. You don't have to agree on anything really, but you don't have to take it to that next level either of nastiness.
Mm.
And it's especially during Corona as well. Like everything, it seemed like everything was happening at the same time, even though stuff has happened in the past, obviously,
Hmm.
but it was more pronounced during COVID because we didn't have anything else to do but to sit there and watch and take it all in because there was no other distractions. There was no work, there was no school, there was nothing. So with all the distractions gone, everything else was amplified, and it was just we're still trying to figure our way through it. But yeah, like you just said, the vibe that some people decided to go with, it was very interesting to me. Where I was like, wow, there are bigger things.
Well, and going back to, not everything has to be divisive.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this virus is divisive, and it's like, I mean, it is what it is, but let's figure out a way to fix it.
Yeah,
Argue about it.
yeah. So how do you think we do that? Can we do that?
I'm not that smart. I'm not even going to try to lie and be like, oh, we should try this. We should speak to this person. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I have no. Can we do it? I doubt it, because people don't want to work together.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because I think we can, but it's that part you just said about the working together. Can we get to a point where we do work together? And that is the biggest hurdle of it all. If we can figure out how, I've been talking a lot about standing in the gap and reaching across the aisle. If we can figure out how to stand in the gap and just get a little bit closer to each other, it might get, better for the future. But somebody has to take that first step, though.
Well, that, and then keep doing it. It's not a one-off. It's like, okay, let's do this a week from now. Then let's do it another week from now. And then it's like working out. You don't see results unless you consistently do it.
Yeah.
Like my diet, if I ate salads like my trainer told me, no. But, I like a cheeseburger every now and then.
Right. Right.
Maybe with a little bacon, but he doesn't need to know that. No, but jokes aside. But no, I mean, seriously, it's like, just, if we're going to do it and keep rolling with it. I mean, there's going to be some stuff that doesn't work. All right, retool, rebuild, let's start again. But then there's no blame game that needs to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's about just sharpening the tools up and figuring it out. And like you said, not pointing those fingers, because that doesn't do anyone any good. The pointing of the fingers does no one any good.
Nah. It's just holding on to more negativity.
Yep. And that's what we don't need. We need more positivity in this world. Because you know what, and I do believe there is more good than not in the world. But because that negativity shouts so loudly and people hang on to it, sometimes that's all you hear. And so it's about climbing out of that and seeing and noticing the good stuff that's happening around you.
Yeah, I just heard about some billionaire. I'm probably making this up. I think I heard it on the radio, but he basically gave away his fortune to charities and stuff.
Wow.
But nobody knew.
Yeah.
And so it's like, there's a lot of good that gets done, but people don't broadcast that.
Yeah. Because that doesn't, get the views. I mean, if being honest about it, that doesn't get the views, and that's the sad part, and that is what should be getting the views.
True. Which is why I like my gig. I get to tell good stories about people usually doing some good things, and then I get to eat well, and I just get to do some interesting things, and I really appreciate that. Blessed that I'm able to do that. So
yeah, tell me about a story that like really impacted you.
Well, so there was one I did. It was one of the children's heart hospitals here. They were instituting music therapy.
Okay.
And they were like one of the only hospitals that was doing that, and they only had one lady, and I got to kind of trail around behind her and see the impact she was having on kids' lives and getting them able to focus on something besides their situation, but also having some therapeutic response from it. So that one was really cool. Um, I just posted this thing. It was a while ago I did it, but I met this group here in Jacksonville, the 5,000 Role Models Duval, and it's Young Men's Association that is just trying to mentor young men.
Yeah.
And it's just you see stuff like that. Like Jacksonville's got a lot of groups here doing positives, trying to lift people up, and really appreciate how the community really can connect and bond. And so I've done those, and then I got to hang out with Chris Red from Saturday Night Live once. That was
Yeah.
but and like I said, I had some amazing food. Oh, yeah, it's a tough gig, but somebody's got to do it.
I love how your face lights up when you talk about food. You're like, food. What's the best thing
say again?
What's the best thing you've eaten?
I can't call it because
so much good stuff.
I mean, and then there's so much stuff that I've forgotten, and then somebody will remind me. I was like, "Oh yeah, that was great." But I mean, I've turned into a big seafood fan out here on the East Coast because I was in Charlotte for a couple of years before coming down here. But especially being down here, and I mean, Texas, I knew catfish,
right,
salmon. And I wasn't a big fan of either really for a while, but then I came out here and it's like, oh, this is interesting. So I do love some seafood.
Yeah.
Although I can't do mussels anymore. I just figured out I'm allergic. So
wow. Yeah. I hate that. Like, I love avocados, and guacamole is my jam. But I have developed an allergy to it. Like, I didn't have it in the past. And so I've developed an allergy to it. And I'm just like, isn't that messed up? How dare my body do that?
If I ever have to give up hot wings, kill me now.
I eat it from time to time, but knowing that, there's going to be repercussions for it.
Yeah, I can avoid mine. I'm good. So
yeah, that is funny. Listen, you have a daughter. How is she?
She's good. She's good. She's
is she back in school, or is she doing virtual, or what's going on?
She's doing virtual.
Mm-hmm. How's that working out?
Some days she likes it. Some days she doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, not big into school like I kind of was. So were you into school?
Love school. I was like all in for the school.
It was social hour for me, but I mean, I still did well, but it was like, so like I loved going in. I'd sit in class. I was kind of competitive about it, but yeah, school for me, I was a playground.
Yeah.
What was your favorite class?
My favorite class was English, but I also, just because I was in like AP English, so we did a lot of fun projects and didn't have to do like the dissecting of sentences and all this other stuff that the other English classes did. So I was big into doing projects and, seeing how it all worked out. And I was also in debate. And so that was actually my favorite class, was the speech and debate class, because you got to, talk and argue and just hang out and have a good time. What about you?
Social studies.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked history. I was really big into history. So I definitely enjoyed that. And then I liked English okay. Writing. But when you had to write like super strict and all that, nah.
Yeah.
We got to get creative and free flow. Yeah, I could do that.
That part, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. That's
yeah,
why I like the English class, because we had a lot of freedom to be creative, and
yeah,
it wasn't like structured and all of that. So I think that was the part for me.
yeah. And reading the novels. Hmm. I was good at. Did good in that. Did not do so good at that in college.
Yeah.
I, I got a D in African American literature.
Wow, because you didn't want to read the book.
Well, it was during the season. I played college, soccer in college. It was
Yeah.
during the season, and it, so we had to read. And it's like you're on the road and whatever. So it's just like ugh, I don't have time for this, and like you have to pay attention. And so yeah, I didn't do so well in that. And my folks, they were just like, "How do you
Right.
get a D?" And
That should have been your class, man.
you know,
How was Little Rock? I had a niece who went to Arkansas State in Jonesboro. She played
mm.
basketball there. So how was Little Rock?
So I always ask people like, "Have you ever seen the documentary Banging in Little Rock?"
No, I haven't.
It was on HBO right around the time I was in college, and me and a couple of guys on the team were hanging out, and one of the guys was local, and we're watching this, and it's just about the gang scene in this area. Hey, Nugget, how far was that from here? I was like 2 miles up that way, man.
Wow. Yeah.
So shocking, but it was cool. I had some dark days there, and I left not so enamored with the place, but I went back and had a moment, reconnected with some friends, and let that go, and had some new experiences happen after that. So going back to letting things go, it's like once you can kind of remove that angst, you can open to welcome more stuff in.
Yeah. And that is it. Like if you
Mm,
can allow yourself to let go of the negativity and then allow yourself to receive all the goodness, then that's
hmm
life changing right there.
mm. Yep, about it. I'm about it. So
Yeah.
more changes, just no more quarantine.
Right. Dude, I can talk to you all day. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on and just sharing the space with me. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me hang out. We'll have to keep in touch offline too.
For sure, for sure. This
All
has
right.
been another episode of Make Kind Loud, conversations that turn up the volume. And today we were chatting with my buddy Rance Adams, who is just doing his thing in Jacksonville, Florida. You could probably catch him at some of the nice restaurants out there eating. Also, check out his show highlighting good people that are doing good in the world. And what he just said, what he left us with at the end of this talk was, sometimes you just got to let go of the negativity so that you can receive the good stuff. And that's what I want to leave you guys with today. And we will see you next week on another episode of Make Kind Loud, conversations that turn up the volume. Thanks, Rance.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.